Hi all, this is the video for me to share about the EMAth assignment question. Okay, so let's start on part A. So how do I get the scores of the marks if the students wants to get an A? So in this case, let's look at the one student. Okay, so what I'll do is that I use 63 divide by 75, which is the full marks, okay, multiply by the weightage, which is 15%. Okay, so as such, I'll just calculate this. Okay, so I click on this, which is C17 divided by 75 multiplied by 15%. So I add each and every one of them up together. Okay. And then what I'll use that after that, because he wants to know how much he needs to score. So I use 80, which is score of A, minus the entire string divide by 30% because the semester exam itself is 30%. Okay, so this is how I managed to get this. Now, once I get this, I realized that there will be a lot of decimal place. So in this case, what I do is that I do a roundup. Okay, so the entire string, okay, I do a roundup. However, to do a roundup, I would need to input what is my decimal digit. So in this case, I want to put to one decimal place, so I just put 1 here. Okay, so I just want to round up everything to one decimal place. On the other hand, also add on a condition formatting. So with this condition formatting, I want to check out how many students cannot make it, and and those who can get score A's. Okay, so there are actually two formatting here, one for the last row and one for the rest. Okay, so in this case, let's look at the formatting. In this, what I will do is that I put more than 50. Okay, so because I know that these students will be weaker, for them to pass, there might be a high chance they may not be able to pass. So in this case, I put 50 and then 25 is like a highlight. Okay, so and then the rest, which is here, my conditions here is slightly different, okay, because I'm now is the upper limit. So I would want to say that more than 100 is not possible. Okay, so basically they cannot score more than 100%. And then if they need 75%, which is near a B plus, which is a highlight. Okay, so that's why amber exclamation mark. And those less than 75, very and then the next person, there is a unlikely chance he might pass. Okay, that's because I put it at 50%. So in this case, he need more than 50%. So that's why I have two highlights here. Now, let's to string to the other end. Okay, so I would have one student, if he do well for this test, coming semester exam, that means he has to score more than 70, around 73, he might get an A. Okay, so generally I look at the whole class score, most people should be able to pass. Let's go to part B. Part B, in this case, okay, the user, okay, so in this ping form, the user is supposed to input the values, okay? So what I need to do is I need to display both functions, the functions meaning text as well as formulas inside the same cell. As such, right, I need to use inverted commas for those words or text, okay? So inverted commas and end with the inverted commas. And then what I need to do is I need to input this ampersand to know that, to tell Excel formulas that I need to input a cell of formulas inside, and then I end it with this ampersand again. Now, I add in an extra, which you see this dollar sign here, is because I want to fix or absolute this point. Okay, because if you realize sometimes as you scroll down, the cell will change accordingly also. So in this case, I want to fix this, and therefore I use this dollar sign. Okay, so I do this for both completing the square as well as the standard form. Okay, so the next thing is that I need to plot these two graphs, and this is the graph that I have now, because y to x square is fixed. Okay, and then what is actually changing because of this B and C is my blue color graph. Okay, so when what have I observed from these two graphs? So when B and C are actually 0, my answer would actually be the same as y equals to x squared. Okay, so both supposed to merge. Okay, this tells me that my graph here is correct. Now, the next thing is that I need to achieve, okay, what can be achieved by changing B and C? Okay, the first thing I know is that C is the point whereby I cut the y-axis. So if I put 3 here, now the graph will shift upwards. Okay, so now this brings me to another thing. Okay, if I complete the square again, all right, in this case, not again, but if I complete the square, I will be able to obtain this x squared can be obtained x squared plus bx plus c by shifting. Okay, so we talk about input shift as well as output as output shift. So in this case, right, b minus divide by 2, it will be shifting along the x-axis, the left and right. Okay, because this is my input shift. Okay, then in that case, the output shift will be c b squared or divide by 4. This will be my output shift, and therefore this will be my y-axis up and down. Okay, so in this case, how do I display the solutions? Okay, so instead of using y equals to x squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, I use completing the square. So by looking at this, right, c, this one, and highlighted in red will be equal to 0. So what I left here is actually b x minus b divided by 2 square, which is my repeated root. So therefore, I only have one solution. This can also be shown here. Okay, so if let's say I put in any values, these two graphs only intersect each other only at one point. Okay, so lastly, what have I done? Okay, so from here we know that the point of intersection between two graphs is given by minus b or divide by c, and c is the point where it cuts the y-axis. Okay, so additional function, basically what I've done is I use ampersand, okay, to join both text and formula as well as the dollar sign to fix it. That's all. Thank you so much.